a big positive is all the international players, local international players, can play in the tournament. That's why I love coming here. It gave me my first break as a coach when I was still playing. Dean Jones asked me to come and join him at Islamabad United. Then the following year, Tom Moody asked me to join him at Multan. And, it's just a good tournament for me to be involved in. I think it's just the quality of the cricket. I think, there's obviously high scores most nights. The wickets are really good. But I think it's the bowling quality of all teams. I think every team here got outstanding bowling. And that's why a lot of teams, go to the draft to buy international batsmen. So I think it's a good matchup. It's top international batters versus top local bowlers. Not to throw away the local batters. There's obviously some world-class players in there. But I just think every night is high-quality cricket. Probably the one thing is the boundaries are smaller than they could be. I think they can certainly, with how good the wickets are, they can certainly make the boundaries a little bit bigger. Especially when Pakistan go to Australia for a World Cup like they just did. When boundaries go to 75 meters, it's a different game. You can't just, hit balls over the fence when you want to. So maybe that's something to look at. But crowds, supporters, the viewers want to see big scores. So I do understand it from that point of view. But sometimes it is a bit harsh on bowlers. Guys going at 10 and over every night is hard work, and it probably does dent their confidence a little bit. But I think all in all, it's a great tournament, high quality, and I think a lot of international players that I've spoken to want to be involved in it. Alex Hales would say the same thing. I had him at Islamabad United. Paul Sterling's another one. Usman Khawaja was with us at Islamabad for half a tournament, and he agreed. And he obviously is a very good player of pace bowling, growing up in Australia. Even Alex Hales was with us at Karachi during PSL 5. So I've had him at a couple of these tournaments. All those guys have said that you've got to be, playing well every night, because every night a different pace bowler comes at you, and every team's got a quality pace attack, and then every team's probably got one or two spinners that sort of complement those quick. So a lot has been said about the bowling now, but the wickets are good. You've got to bowl well, otherwise you do go for plenty of runs as well. Well, I think for starters, we need to get back to the playoffs, to give a chance of those final games, because the last 2 years, Karachi hasn't even been close to that. The last time I was with Karachi was PSL 5 when we actually won it. I was here with Dean Jones. Dino was the head coach. I think for starters, we need to get into those playoffs again. We need to establish ourselves as one of the better teams in the tournament. That's obviously going to take some work, from being probably the last couple of years, only having won one game, during PSL 7. That's a long way to go to turn that around. So that's certainly the aim, is for us to be a contending team again. Obviously, teams have gone past us in the last 2 years. We've got some serious work to do, but we've also got a good squad. We've got a really experienced squad. We've probably gone for the most experience in this team that I've seen. And we've got to bank on that. We've got to hope that those guys perform for us on the big stage and can get this team, back to winning ways. And I know from last year, which is obviously the freshest one in memory, I wasn't in PSL 7 at all, but they won one game, and that was the 9th game. So, we've got to try and start well in Karachi. That's obviously a bit of an advantage, I would say, to play at home first up. You want to start well, you want to start at home. I suppose crowds will be full again, sort of COVID's over now. So I think we've got to make the most of starting at home, starting well, and get some early momentum. That's what you want to do in a tournament like this. You need to get momentum early. It's hard to play from behind. So hopefully, with the international players that we've picked, plus having retained 8 local players, hopefully we've got a strong enough squad to start well, then keep that momentum, and then get us into the playoffs. And from there, you're 2 or 3 games away from winning a tournament. So it sounds simple saying it like that, but this team's got some work to do. We've been poor the last 2 years, and we've really got to pull things together and turn it around. We've got to do it now. Yeah, he's one of the best cricketers in the world. I think Shardul's still obviously at the top, which he's done very well over the last few years. And Baba's spot we really probably replaced with James Vince, who's played really well for Multan when he played for them. So, that is obviously a big loss. It's a big player. It's a big character in the tournament, and he draws big crowds into the stadium. But yeah, we've tried to replace that with a James Vince. Hopefully, I think we can hopefully substitute that. Vince, he's done really well when he's played in the PSL. I think our biggest player and the player we probably need to get the most out of is Hyder Ali. When he was with Zelmi, the first couple of years he was excellent. I thought, gee, this guy could be one of the best T20 players in the world. Then he's gone sort of on a bit of a plateau. He's even out a little bit. So hopefully him coming to a new team, we can get the best out of Hyder Ali. And I think if he has a really good tournament, we'll be good as a team. He's that good a player. He's that dangerous as a player that he can take a game away from the opposition. And us as a management, as a staff, we're looking to hopefully get the best out of him. Then Shoaib can follow that. Kasim Akram, great emerging player. Matthew Wade. And then we've got a bunch of international all-rounders, James Fuller, Ben Cutting, Andrew Ty. So yeah, hopefully we can fire at the top with the bat. I think that's something. I haven't looked too closely at last year's stats, but in a tournament like this, your top six have to fire. If they don't get the runs or get it quick enough, you're always going to struggle. And obviously last year there was something missing. So yeah, I think we've covered it in the way. It's hard to replace a world-class player, but I think we've done pretty well to cover that. And like I said, I think Hyder is a big player for us. He's going to, hopefully we can get the best out of him, and he can sort of fill in that gap along with James Vince. I think Islamabad in PSL 6, when I was with them, we won 8 out of 10 games in the group stages. Well, obviously we couldn't get it done in the playoffs. I think we had a really good team going there. Hassan Ali was an outstanding signing. I think not game specific, but player specific that I've signed in PSL or that us as a team have signed. He's been my number one pick. I think he's been the best pick I've ever picked in PSL. He was our number one pick at Islamabad for PSL 6, and he was outstanding off the field, on the field, a leader in the team. So yeah, not for me, that answer is not so much match specific, but for me it's probably team and player specific, and it was Islamabad at PSL 6, and just Hassan Ali, everything he brought to the team, the respect he demanded, everything he did, the way he went about things. When we were down as a team, he would lift the team. So it's probably a little bit of a different way to answer it, but I think he was outstanding, and I'm looking forward to seeing him again. I think he's a great player. I think he was great around our group, and it's a little bit unfortunate not to see him in the Pakistan team at the moment, but I'm sure he'll bounce back. He's done it time and time again, and hopefully he has a good tournament. I know he's in opposition at the moment, but I'd like to see him have a good tournament again and get back to the international team.